boys and girls. I'm Miss Terry Ann, and this is my friend Reedy the Dragon. We're here today to read to you a wonderful story about what happens with a dragon that has fiery breath and an ear of corn. What will they create? Well, let's find out as we read The Popcorn Dragon, written by Jane Thayer, illustrated by Lisa McHugh. Dexter was a dragon with a green scaly body and a long twisty tail. He had short knobby legs. He had wings like a bat, which he would be able to fly with when he was older. Like all dragons, Dexter had a hot breath. When he got mad or excited and breathed extra hard, his breath grew extra hot. One day, Dexter felt sad because he had no one to play with. He was so sad that he died a deep sigh. Out of his mouth came a cloud of smoke. "Why, look at me," said Dexter. "I'm blowing smoke." He could hardly believe it. He sat still and breathed hard. Sure enough, smoke was coming out of his mouth. Dexter cried, "I never knew I could blow smoke." He ran to his mother, panting for joy. He shouted, "Look at me, blowing smoke." He ran to the edge of the river, where he could see himself in the water. His reflection was like a mirror. He said, "Just look at that smoke." He thought, "I'm going to show the other animals how I can blow smoke." Dexter began to stroll up and down. He puffed a little smoke here, he puffed a little smoke there, as if blowing smoke was just nothing. After a while, he saw the other animals, the giraffe, the zebra, and the elephant, peeking at him from behind some rocks. The giraffe, the zebra, and the elephant all came out and watched Dexter blowing smoke. Their eyes nearly popped out of their heads. Dexter blew smoke till he looked like a bonfire. Pretty soon the giraffe slipped quietly away and hid behind a rock. He said, "Woof," trying to blow smoke like Dexter, but he couldn't do it. Then the zebra ran off and disappeared over a hill. He said, "Pff, pff," trying to blow smoke like Dexter, but he couldn't do it. Finally, the elephant said, "Goodbye, I have to go." He trotted into the woods and went, "Whoo, whoo, whoo," trying to blow smoke like Dexter, but he couldn't. So he said, "Pooh, who wants to blow smoke?" They all came back and watched Dexter out of the corner of their eyes to see how he blew smoke. Dexter was delighted. "I can blow smoke and you can't." Dexter pranced around, showing off. He chased a yellow butterfly with his smoke. He puffed a cloud of smoke at a green grasshopper, and he scared a striped chipmunk with his smoke. He even puffed a small puff, accidentally of course, right at the other animals. The smoke felt rather warm to the other animals. The giraffe said, "You stop it." The zebra said, "I'm going home." Dexter stopped blowing smoke. He thought, I don't want them to go home." He said loudly, "Oh, I guess I won't blow smoke anymore. I think I'll blow smoke rings." He stuck his head straight up in the air and blew smoke rings. The other animals just had to watch Dexter blow smoke rings. They moved back a little so they wouldn't get scorched. They watched till they were so envious they could hardly stand it. Finally, the elephant said, "Certainly is silly blowing smoke rings." He started to stalk away. Dexter stopped blowing smoke rings. He thought, "What can I do to make them stay?" He said loudly, "Oh, I guess I won't blow plain smoke rings anymore. I think I will blow smoke rings around my tail." He turned his head and blew smoke rings around his tail. He switched his tail this way and blew smoke rings around it. He switched his tail that way and blew smoke rings around it. Finally, he switched so hard he hit himself in the nose. The blow brought tears to his eyes. Dexter blinked quickly and said, "See, I can even hit myself in the nose." The animals were so envious, not knowing how Dexter's nose hurt, but they couldn't bear to watch one more minute. The zebra said, "That Dexter is always showing off." The giraffe said, We don't like 'em, do we? The elephant said, "Come on, let's go." When Dexter saw the other animals actually going, he stopped blowing smoke rings. Suddenly he remembered he wanted someone to play with. He called out hopefully, "Want me to come with you?" The giraffe said no, they didn't. Dexter watched them go. Then he went home and said to his mother in a forlorn voice, "I haven't got anything to do." His mother said, "Blow some smoke." "I don't feel like it," said Dexter. His mother said, "Go play with the other animals." "They won't play with me," said Dexter. "Then you must have been showing off," his mother said. Yes, he was, wasn't he? Dexter wandered down the road to where the other animals were playing. He did wish he could play too. He sat down to watch. The zebra shouted, "We don't like you, go away." Dexter was very sorry now that he had showed off. He had no one to play with. He was tired of blowing smoke. He wandered into a cornfield and lay down in the shade of the tall corn stalks. He watched a yellow butterfly flutter against the blue sky. He watched a green grasshopper on a blade of green grass. The butterfly and grasshopper did not know or care how lonely Dexter felt. He could hear the far-off voices of the animals playing. The sun was warm. The sound of insects and the far-off voices began to make Dexter drowsy. He closed his eyes. He fell asleep. Dexter began to dream fireworks were going off. Then he dreamed the most delicious smell in the world. He woke up, he heard pop, pop, pop. "Popcorn?" cried Dexter. Right under his nose was an ear of corn that had fallen off the stalk on the ground. His hot breath was popping the corn on the ear. Pop, pop, pop! The kernels came popping out. Dexter reached out and gobbled some. Crunch, crunch, smack, gobble, gulp. Good, said Dexter. Soon the popcorn on the ground was all gone. He wanted some more. He stood on his hind legs and pulled the husks off an ear of corn on a cornstalk. Then very carefully, he breathed his hot breath on the ear of corn. Pop! Went the corn. Pop, pop, pop! The crisp white kernels fell in a shower. The popcorn smell began to drift through the air. The giraffe, the zebra, and the elephant stopped their playing. They said, popcorn. They put their noses up in the air and went sniff, sniff toward the smell. When Dexter looked up from his crunching, they were peeking around the corn stalks. Dexter swallowed the popcorn. He said quickly, "Have some." The giraffe, the zebra, and the elephant cried, "But you've eaten it all up." Dexter said, "I'll pop more." He moved eagerly along the row of corn stalks to a new place and quickly pulled off some of the husks. His hot breath started to pop the corn. The popcorn fell all around. The animals crunched and munched. Soon the popcorn was gone. Dexter said quickly for fear they would go away, "I'll pop more if you want." The animals looked at each other. The giraffe said, "That Dexter is very nice when he doesn't show off." The zebra said, "Let's ask him to play with us." The elephant said to Dexter, "Want to play with us, Dexter?" Dexter cried, "Okay." He was so delighted that before he knew it, he breathed a little hard, and out came a cloud of smoke. But Dexter quickly turned his head to one side. "Oh, excuse me, please," he said politely. And when they had played until they were hungry, Dexter popped corn for everyone. That was a fun story. Now, I don't have hot breath to pop corn with, but I can make popcorn dance. And in order to do that, you're going to need some ingredients. We're going to need about a 1-quart size container. You're going to need some water. You're going to need about a tablespoon of popcorn, or perhaps a little more. You're going to need 2 to 4 tablespoons of baking soda and a cup of white vinegar or apple cider vinegar. Either will work, and a spoon to stir it all together. So we're going to start by taking the water and filling our container about 3/4 of the way full. There we go. Now we're going to take our tablespoon measurement and take our baking soda and add some to the water. This is 1, And I'm going to measure another one. And I just tap it so it's even. And this will be 2 tablespoons. I think I'm going to put 3 in my water today. And 3 tablespoons. And the baking soda made the water a little bit cloudy, so we have to stir it so it's all dissolved. And stir and stir and stir. And here we go. All right, it looks like it's getting there. I'm just going to keep stirring it around. It's not quite so cloudy, so it's all dissolved. The baking soda is all dissolved into the water. There we go. Next, we get to put in the popcorn. I'm going to use another tablespoon measure and measure out 1 tablespoon of popcorn. But I think I really want a lot of popcorn to dance today, so I'm going to go ahead and put 1 more in. And then it's going to be time for the vinegar. Now when we go to put the vinegar in, you have to pour it in very slowly. If you pour it in too fast, it's going to be like a volcano and it'll erupt and you'll have a big, big mess. So this is a 1/4 cup measure, and I'm going to use 4 of these to equal 1 cup. So we'll start with 1, and very slowly we're going to pour it in. See, I start to see some bubbles. Ooh, pour it in, and let's do another one. Measuring it and slowly pouring it in. Ooh, look at that foam. Foamy, foamy. Pour it in. Here comes the 3rd one. And don't get too anxious. Keep pouring it in slowly. There we go. And 1 more time. The vinegar. This is the last one, number 4. 4 1/4 cups equals 1 cup. Pour it all in. Whoa! I started to do it a little fast. Almost went over the top. Keep pouring it in. Then I'm going to take my spoon and give it a little stir. And watch. What's happening? I see the popcorn rising. It's coming up, 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 up to the top. Look. Look, jumping up, and some of them are coming down. Now they're dancing, up and down, up and down. Watch them go. They go down, and they'll come back up. How does the dancing popcorn work? Why, the baking soda and the vinegar react with each other because of an acid-base reaction. The baking soda is a bicarbonate and a base, and the vinegar is an acetic acid, which of course is an acid. When these two combine, a chemical reaction occurs, and as a result, carbon dioxide is formed. When this happens in the water, the carbon dioxide forms bubbles, and the bubbles collect on the popcorn kernels. And as they collect, they start to rise. Remember the movie Up, when they attached all the helium balloons to the house, and the house started to rise, just like the popcorn kernels with the bubbles. But then, when the balloons start to pop, the house starts to sink, just like the popcorn kernels. When the bubbles pop, when they reach the surface, they're popping, and the kernels drop back down. The bubbles form, and they go back up and down, and up and down, and the process keeps repeating itself until all of the carbon dioxide is gone. Now, if you want to make the experiment last a little longer, just add a little bit more baking soda and a little bit more vinegar. Well, I hope you had fun with me today. I certainly had a good time making my popcorn dance, and I hope that you have fun making it dance at your house. We'll see you next time. We're going to see how hungry a dragon can be and what things he might swallow. Bye for now.